Okay, we're back. This is Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. We are picking up after having just left the GAULEM Bay, hearing the announcement that an AB room was opened, most assuredly by Dio, and arriving back at the Floor A warehouse. So let's carry on from where we left off. Alright. Understood Phi, Dio, and K. Of course. Hey, what the hell, guys?
Why did you open the AB gate before everyone got back?
I apologize. We only turned away for a moment.
Dio opened it.
Of course he did.
You got a problem with that?
Of course we do.
Why? I don't remember us all promising we wouldn't open the thing until everyone showed up.
This isn't about promises. Are you stupid or just an asshole?
Probably both. We were able to get back here in time. But what about the others? Tenmyoji, Quark, and Clover. What were you planning to do if they didn't get back in time?
Nothing. Why would I have to do anything? Didn't you hear the voice? Anybody who doesn't get back in time to vote just gets their vote automatically set to ally. It's pretty straightforward to me. So what if they don't get back in time? They'll all get set to ally and all three of them will get 2 BP. Sounds like a sweet deal to me. Tenmyoji's only got 1 BP. I figure he'll be pretty happy to get 2 more. And that'll put Quark and Clover up close to 9. So that's not too bad for them either. In other words, they ought to be thanking me.
Didn't you guys find a note?
What? What's this?
Read it.
Here are some more AB game rules for you. Not voting is not an option. If both parties refuse to vote, then every bunny gets penalized. In other words, 1 person out of every color group of 3 has to vote. The hell, man? This wasn't in our room. Back me up here, guys.
He's right.
There was no such note in our safe.
Oh, well, damn. That's a bummer. I'd never have opened the gate if I'd known about this.
Really?
Of course.
I'm worried about the others. If time runs out,
They'll be penalized, yes.
I know. Quark is part of that team. Maybe something happened with him.
He seemed a little off before we headed into the chromatic doors.
This is bad.
Hey, wait a minute, where's Alice? She was just here a moment ago. Took me a moment to spot her. She was several yards away and kneeling down to look at something on the floor. What she was looking at, I couldn't tell. I was about to head over and see what was going on when... Whoa, hey guys.
Quark! Has Quark been here?
Did something happen to him? He disappeared!
Spirit, what do you mean?
I mean, he's gone! We can't find him anywhere! When was the last time you saw him?
We were heading back here.
Tenmyoji and I went into the lounge, but Quark didn't follow us.
We turned around and started calling for him, but...
When he didn't respond, we ran back the way we'd come.
And you couldn't find him?
Right.
We thought maybe he just hadn't seen us go into the lounge.
So we checked the crew quarters and the infirmary.
But he wasn't there either.
All right. We need to split up. If we can't find him in any of the floor A rooms, we'll move to floor B.
Okay. I need to go tell Alice. You guys go on ahead.
Right, you do that. Crew quarters. Looking for Quark. He's not here. I checked both rooms.
He's not in the other two either. There's no one here.
Timmy, OG, and Kay are in the lounge, and Dio and Luna should be checking in the infirmary.
Right. Okay, let's leave that to them and head to floor B.
We went through the red door with Dio and Kay, right?
Yeah, so?
What was on the other side of the door?
Want to see it?
Yeah. Maybe Quark went there.
Fine. Follow me. The
This is
pantry.
pantry.
That drawer over there is stuffed with processed food. Wasn't half bad, actually.
You ate it?
There was some paella, nasi goreng, schnitzel, yukejang, borscht, and tom kha gai.
Screenshot.
Oh, and I ate the chef's pasta too.
That's a lot of food.
Can't help it. I'm a growing girl.
How old are
20,
you?
I think.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Just stop. I don't even know where to start here. 1. By the time you hit 20, you're done growing. 2. You think? You should be old enough to know how old you are. 3. How on earth are you 20? You look like you're 13 if you're a day. I can't believe you're only 2 years younger than me.
Now that's funny.
Screenshot.
You must have done a lot of drugs to look like that at 22.
Screenshot. Oh, give me a break, you little
Don't
punk.
call me little. I'm an adult, you dried up asshole.
Fine, whatever. So this place has enough food to keep people alive for a few years, huh? Looks like this stuff isn't going to expire anytime soon.
Yeah. The use-by date is about 100 years from now.
How about
There's
water?
a tank over there. It looks like they're pulling it out of some kind of well.
Is it
Well,
safe?
since Dio isn't rolling around on the floor in agonizing pain, I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's okay.
You made him drink it to make sure it was safe?
I guess you could say that.
So you ate all the food without a second thought, but the water struck you as possibly dangerous?
Well, I was careful with the food too. Dio had some of it first, and it seemed fine, so I... Oh. I almost forgot. I ate something else. Twice cooked pork.
Screenshot. Oh, for God's sake. Why the hell are you shouting about that? Wait a minute, twice
What
cooked
is
pork? Well, that just reminded me of
Reminded
something.
you of what?
This might seem hard to believe it.
Bullshit.
Come on, at least let me tell you first. Yep. Explained how we found a room called the GAULEM Bay on the other side of the green door and how we'd met a robot there named GAULEM. He told a very interesting story.
I see. So the Golem guy was turned off just when he was about to tell you something.
Yep.
So the last thing he said was, see you right in the middle of... Right
Yeah.
in the middle. Middle could be from middle...
Well, this is utterly pointless. I'm gonna go get a drink. I will be right back. Alright. Really?
I don't think so.
Please explain.
Maybe he was trying to say that this game is like the Chinese room. In other words...
Sigma! Phi! There you are! I've been looking all over for you!
What's going on?
Something bad. Something really bad.
Oh, come on, spill it.
Alice is... Just come with me. She's in the crew quarters.
There's very few instances where she does not end up dead, I guess. Or Quark not end up in a coma. All I could hear was Zero's words echoing in my ears. Your heart stops, your bracelet comes off. If you've never been in turbulence, it's hard to explain. You feel the sudden alien weightlessness of a long fall. For just a moment, you are painfully aware of the fact that you are thousands of feet above the Earth in a flimsy machine made by fallible men, kept aloft by a scientific principle that nobody actually understands. If you've never seen a friend dead, it's hard to explain, but it's a little like that. He knelt down beside Alice's body and pressed a shaking hand to her throat. No pulse. Her skin had already turned pale. The thing in front of me looked like a human being, but it wasn't being a human any longer. Why had this happened? I knelt there for several long moments, staring blankly ahead. My throat burned and my chest was tight, but I forced myself to take 3 progressively calmer breaths, then stood. I clenched my fist, took one last breath, and turned. Who found her?
Me. I was looking for Quark on floor B and couldn't find him. So I came back here and... well, you know the rest. Hey, what's that look supposed to mean? You better not be thinking I did it.
Well, suspicion often falls on the first to discover a crime.
Fuck that. She'd already been murdered when I got here.
How do you know she was murdered?
What? Come on, it's obvious. She's got a knife sticking out of her chest.
Not a scalpel, a knife.
Does that look like an accident or a suicide to you?
How do you know the weapon was a knife?
What?
All you can see from here is the handle. For all you know, it could have been an ice pick or some kind of tool.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true, but I mean, come on. Who wouldn't look at that and assume it's a knife? And it's not fair to suspect someone just because they happen to be the first one to find the body. If you want to be like that, then the last person to see Alice is the person you should be looking at.
Who was the last person to see her? I need to go tell Alice. You guys go on ahead. Alice. Why?
Why indeed?
This wasn't supposed to happen. You promised me we'd catch them together. Don't do this. I
Clover.
can't trust them anymore. It could have been any one of them. They killed you, Alice. I can't forgive them for that. I'm going to get revenge. I'll find out who killed you. And I'll
Hey, Clover.
Shut up! Don't you talk to me! I'm sorry, Alice.
Her voice shook as she spoke. Before anyone could say anything, she turned and ran out of the room.
Wait! Clover, come back!
Timioji took off in pursuit. I made to follow when.
It's pointless. Even if you caught up to her, she'd never tell you anything. Think it through. There are two possibilities. Either Clover killed her, or she didn't. If the former is true, then I doubt she would confess. If the latter is true, then I imagine she'll be just as reticent. After all, Alice and Clover seem to know each other. In fact, they seem quite close. It seems safe to assume that Clover is currently very suspicious of all of us. I doubt she would open up to anyone right now.
You seem pretty calm. Did you do it?
Not again. Well, if you really want to suspect me, please, go ahead. I'm beginning to feel rather accustomed to it. I would ask you to consider my motive for killing Alice. Specifically, the fact that I have none.
Well, yes, but none of us do. None of us have ever met Alice before, right? So why would we want to kill her?
You are correct. But only if the murder had a motive beyond, well, murder.
What do you mean?
Do you remember when we found the old woman? It seemed clear that her killer was Zero Senior, and that they were one of us. There is every reason to think the same person murdered Alice. Perhaps this person plans to kill us one by one. Perhaps the entire Nonary game is just window dressing. Perhaps the only reason we are here is so that Zero Senior can kill us at his leisure, in a world of his own creation.
Why would anyone do such a horrible thing?
Presumably, because they enjoy killing. Zero Senior seems to be rather disturbed.
Hold on a minute. That doesn't mean they're one of us. There could be a 10th person hiding somewhere.
No.
Well, why
There's
not?
no way Zero Jr. wouldn't notice that. And if he did notice, I really don't think he'd just let something like that slide.
But isn't Zero Jr. just an AI without a body? What could he do?
Maybe. But Zero Senior has a body. Do you think they'd really just let a 10th unwanted participant just run around murdering people?
Well, what if the 10th person is Zero Senior?
Not possible. At least not so long as we assume Zero Jr.'s statement to be the truth. Do you remember? He made it quite clear that the real Zero was one of us.
How about what Kay had said? If the killer was Zero Senior, then who could be the killer? Kay, perhaps? Or even Clover. There was always Temioji. Phi, maybe? Quark. No, it can be her. I've been with Phi the whole time. We were looking for Quark. There's no way she could have slipped away to stab Alice in the chest. Anyway, there was one person I'd forgotten. Quark. Seemed like a bit of a stretch to think a kid could kill someone else's size, though. That meant there were 5 real suspects. Dio, Luna, Kay, Clover, and Mioji. Where had Quark
10
gone?
minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Apparently Zero doesn't feel like this is worth stopping the game for. A blunt but effective way to make the point.
What do you mean?
We should get to the warehouse. It seems clear he feels no compunction about killing us, should we disobey the rules.
Very
As
true.
such, I recommend we follow them.
The others filed out of the room. I turn to face Alice. Alice, I'll find out who did this to you. I promise. I felt my stomach settled back into its normal configuration. The fire in my chest melted the icy hand from my spine. I stood up straight, gave Alice one last nod, and walked after the others, leaving my regrets lying on the cold floor.
Hey, look! 2 of the AB gates are closed already.
Probably Tenmyoji and Clover.
Wasn't he a pair? Doesn't Quark need to go with him?
As long as one person in each pair is there, it should be okay.
Sharing their destiny, huh?
Pretty much.
That's good news for you, Sigma. After all, you're a pair, but your partner is... well, I'd rather not say it.
Yeah, I know.
Good luck for you, huh, Luna?
What? I don't understand what you mean.
Well, if Alice was still alive, you'd have a hard time choosing Betray. She only had 1 BP left. If you'd picked Betray, you could have killed her. Of course, that's not really a problem.
Stop that, Dio. I would have chosen Ally regardless. I mean, Sigma's going to be my opponent. And I trust him.
Haha. Now this is interesting. If one of you guys picks Betray, we are gonna get a show.
Dio!
Ignore him. How do you and Phi plan to vote?
You even gotta ask? Ally. Of course. Right, Phi?
I don't know about that. It's a difficult question.
What?
Well, if we choose ally and Kay chooses the opposite, then he'll have 9 points. He can go through the number 9 door whenever he wants. But it's not as simple as just choosing Betray either. If Kay decides to ally for some reason, then you'd end up with 9 points.
So we should both choose Ally. Seems easy to me.
You're planning on betraying me, aren't you, Dio? As soon as you go through that door, it will be only the 2 of you in that room. I've no doubt you could overpower Phi, if you had the desire to.
Oh, give me a little credit. No one has more gentle points than me. You think someone of my stature would resort to violence? The nerve.
What?
This is just a thought, but why don't all of you promise to choose Betray? Then you wouldn't have to worry about anything. If you knew the other person was going to betray you, you'd have no choice but to do the same.
That seems pretty negative for you, Luna.
I'm sorry.
Nothing to apologize for. We appreciate your suggestion and we'll take it into consideration. But unfortunately, I don't think it's a very good idea. See, my goal is to beat this game.
But Phi...
Maybe that wasn't the best way to put it. When I say I want to beat it, I mean defeat it. Completely. I want to get us all out of here. We haven't beat the Nonary game until we're all out of this place. I guess we won't all be getting out anymore, though.
Oh, you mean Alice?
Yeah. At any rate, all of us choosing Betray every time is hardly ideal. We'd never escape.
Then what are you gonna do?
Kay needs to choose ally. It's the only way.
How will you make sure I do that? I have no guarantee that you'll choose Ally as well.
Would you do it if I could give you that guarantee?
Well, yes, I suppose so.
You promise?
Yes.
Good. Let's do this. Dio!
Huh?
There's someone behind you.
What?
The moment Dio turned his hand to Phi was off. With seemingly superhuman strength, she leapt through the air, across the room, and through the AV gate.
What the fuck? You bitch! God damn it, Phi! Open this fucking door!
He pounded on the door, screaming, but it showed no signs of opening again.
Fuck!
He gave the door one last slam for good measure, and ran to the next open one.
Invalid pair detected. Please retry with valid partner. Members of a pair cannot vote in separate rooms.
What? Why the fuck not? This is against the rules. How am I supposed to vote? This is bullshit.
I see this is how Phi can guarantee their choice. Yo, can't vote now, so the chance Phi will choose ally just went way up. After all, if you pick ally and she betrays you, then
Dio will have 9 points.
But don't you think Vi might be worried that Kay will break his promise? After all, if he can be pretty sure that Vi is going to choose ally, then...
You needn't worry. Her plan is very clever. I will definitely choose ally.
2 minutes remain until polling closes.
We don't have much time left. Let's go.
Okay. Sigma?
yes,
You are going to choose ally, right?
of course. We both have 5 BP right now. If I did betray you, I'd only get 3 points. That's not enough to escape. So I'd have to wait until the next round anyway. Make sense?
I see.
Huh?
Nothing. Never mind. Anyway, you promised you have to choose ally.
Right, I will. Alright.
Thirty seconds remain until polling closes.
Now, what am I gonna do? Well, I guess there really isn't any question. After all, I promised Luna that I'd pick ally. But what if she was lying to me?
I would have chosen ally regardless. I mean, Sigma's going to be my opponent. And I trust him.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex's game polling closes.
Alright.
9, 8, 7,
6,
5,
5,
4,
4, 3, 2, 1. Alright. I'm going to pick this up tomorrow. It's pretty late. I just wanted to get in the little bit of segment between the GAULEM Bay and the AB room. So I'm going to stop it here, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. Alright. Good night.